So one of the things that I want to talk about in regards to escaping is making sure you have the mindset of escaping in transition, especially when you're going against somebody who's bigger. It applies regardless of the size, but we want to figure out how to escape in transition. Now, this is a loaded topic. What I mean by loaded is that there's so many scenarios where you can escape in transition. He can go for a guard pass and I have to escape in transition. He can sweep me to the top position and I have to escape in transition. He could take me down and I have to escape in transition. We could be in a scramble and then I end up on the bottom and then I have to escape in transition. So there's many different scenarios. I'm just going to do the best I can to give you concepts that apply overall. And a lot of it goes to mindset and basically understanding what the transition is. What I mean by transition is there's this overlap point. There's this middle point where there's a position that starts or a situation that starts and we're moving to the situation that ends, and now we have this middle that's in there. We have to figure out how we can escape during that middle, because now my opponent doesn't control me. Now my opponent doesn't get his positions on me, and then I actually escape. So let me give you some particular examples. Number one example is when it comes to escaping during transition with a guard pass, because that's one of the number one scenarios where somebody ends up getting a good top position on you. So if we're here like this, right, and Danilo does a guard pass that he might like to do from the open guard or the closed guard. So he comes here, boom, and he does an X pass to side control. If I don't make a decision to escape during transition and recognize the fact that he is passing my guard, now he's settled, there's a whole different ball game. We're going to talk about somebody being settled, especially when you have a bigger individual that's settled on you. But why do we even want to deal with this in the first place? We want to make sure we stop this, because if we stop this, he never actually got full control on me. I never actually got controlled, and then we can continue on with our lives, and I can work on continuing to attack. So if we go back, right? If you watch on the Grapplers guide, I have a video. It's called the headlights concept, and basically, or it even talks about the difference between scooting and stripping. But the quick overview of the headlights concept is there's headlights of a car. For example, they light up what's in front of you, and they go out to about a 45-degree angle, right? So basically, this open part in front of me, this is my headlights. All of this is my guard playing zone here, right? I can play guard here. So if I turn, look at my arms are at about a 45-degree angle. This is my guard playing zone. This means that he technically didn't pass my guard, and I'm still playing guard. But if he were to get past my headlights, so if let's say we're here, and Danilo moves to his right, and he gets past my headlights, this is no longer the guard playing zone. He now has passed my headlights. This is the escaping zone now. Even if he comes a little bit closer to my hand, he's still, like right here, he's still in basically the escaping zone or the control zone for him. So here, he's in the control zone. He's trying to get top position on me and control me. I need to escape at this point. And at this point is where I possibly need to do my transitional escaping. And this is just for something like side control. So let's say he's on his knees. And I have the headlights again. Remember, this is just a concept and a metaphor to show you an example of the guard playing zone and the escaping zone. Let's say he just moves over a little bit to his left, right? So now, now he is still in my guard playing zone. I don't need to escape, even if I was laying down here, right? I don't need to escape. I just put a foot on him, and we can start to work, and I can start playing. There's things that I can do that are easier for me to stop him from passing, because he is still in my guard playing zone, right? So and what I mean by guard playing zone is he needs to get fully past my guard playing zone here for me to start working escapes now. So let's say he moves over a little bit more. He's still in my guard playing zone here. But this is trouble. He's super close to being in the escaping zone now. Once again, I could still do crazy legs easy. It's still easy for me to do those things. I could possibly invert on him and do those things as well. So understand that, let's say we turn a little bit and just go right back in front of my hand again. Here, he's still in my guard playing zone because he's at a 45-degree angle. I can do crazy legs and I can reset. He can go to escape. I can invert and I can go to reset. It's much easier. But let's say, for example, we're here and he gets past my guard playing zone. And then here, just come up a little bit. Yeah, so we're here like this. He's now past my guard playing zone. We'll just rotate here. You just follow me? Yeah. He's past my guard planks, and look, it is not easy for me to do those simple things anymore. It was literally maybe like 3 inches, right? And it's no longer easy for me to do. If I go to put my leg over here, look at the stretch that I have to do. It's so much harder. And at the same time, he's not just going to be chilling like this. He's going to be bringing pressure down on me. Well, look, it stopped. But if we go back, let's go back where he's in front. Here, go to put pressure. It's easy for me to put my leg in front. Now, we're not rolling live. It's not 100% resistance. And things are a little bit different when you are rolling live. But I guarantee you that this concept applies in these particular situations. Once he gets past here, now the alarm should be going off. Escape, 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 escape. Like I literally need to, this is my escaping zone right here, and I need to escape before he gets settled. If he comes down and gets settled, now I did not escape in transition. I missed my opportunity, okay? However, once I realize he's here, and he starts going, I can start working. I can start working to escape, doing escaping movements. Escaping movements are bridging, right? They're shrimping. Those are the biggest escaping movies. Framing, right? Framing with your forearms. Those are big escaping movements, especially when someone's going past your guard. Bridging, shrimping, inverting. Those are good. Inverting is more of a guard retention type of movement as opposed to escaping, but we're going to talk about inverting as well. But hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see the difference. This concept, I believe, is extremely important. And, you know, me as a black belt who's been training for 17 years, sometimes I have trouble remembering the concept. And even just getting in my brain, when I have training sessions where I'm like, okay, make sure I control the headlight zone. Here, make sure I control the guard playing zone. It helps me retain my guard more. It helps me play my guard much better. And then I also tell myself, if the person gets out of my headlights, I need to escape as soon as possible. I need to change to an escaping type of situation. And that helps me become better at escaping during transition. And the reason why this whole idea, this whole concept is important is because the hardest thing for people in regards to escaping in transition is understanding when they should possibly be escaping during transition. Right? If I tell somebody who doesn't understand this concept, they don't really know what's going on, and I say to them, you should be escaping during transition, I'm going to get a lot of people who scratch their head. They're going to be like, what? Like, what do you mean by escaping during transition? Or they're going to say to me, how do I do that? Like, how do I understand when to escape during transition? But if you apply this simple concept of the headlight zone, right, the guard playing zone, and the escaping zone, it's going to help you become better at escaping in transition, especially when it comes to the guard passing. Now, it's different when somebody sweeps you and then you have to escape, and it's also different when somebody goes for a takedown and you have to escape during this transition. This applies highly to guard passing. However, when those things happen, when somebody goes to sweep you or they go to basically take you down, you have to now escape before the position ends. What I mean like that is one of the most common scenarios that we use in these examples is the hip bump, right? So if I'm here like this, and I'm inside Danilo's close guard, and he goes to hip bump me, at this, I should, like, once I feel like I'm falling over, keep going, I should be escaping. Let's go back. I should have been escaping as I'm tipping. Because there's a point where it's basically like, oh crap, like I'm getting swept and there's nothing I can do about it. That's it. It's not cool that I'm getting swept. It's not a good feeling to get swept, but I have to accept the fact that I'm getting swept and then also move on to the fact that I need to now escape. Because I would rather get swept, escape, and play my guard than get swept and get caught and mount. It's the same type of thing. So it's a headlights. It's basically what I mean. It's an alarm. You want to figure out when's your alarm going to go off that we have to escape. So if we're back here, right? Danilo goes to do a hip bump on me. Boom, alarm is going off. The alarm is going off at that point. Now it's much easier for me to do this in camera because I'm currently teaching this. I know exactly what Danilo's going to do, and he's very predictable. Okay? And the reason why I mention those things is because you hear a lot of people talk on video and instructionals, and they say this is how it is and this is how it's going to work. And they don't talk about the fact that this is a live individual right here. Like, he's alive. He's trying to control me and do certain things. So it's easier said than done. But if you constantly train it, if you constantly train escaping during transition, it's going to get better and better and better and better. And as you train more and more, it starts becoming second nature. Then you start escaping more. Now it's Danilo's responsibility to beat my transitions. I might roll with Danilo, and it happens a lot, right? Because he's very good, where I'm doing all of these things, but he understands how to beat my escaping during transition. That's just part of the game, right? Jiu-jitsu is a game. Whoever has the better timing at the moment is going to win that game. But if you play the game right, if you have the proper mindset for the game, you're going to set yourself up for success. And those are things we need to work on. I mean, let's say, for example, we were here, right? And Danilo did like a double leg on me. Boom, if he basically cut the corner, now he's inside control already. I need to accept the fact that he's possibly going to take me down. So if we go back again, right? We're basically just doing generic like double leg stuff. I'm just showing you an example. So if we're here and he goes to do like a double leg on me, boom, I need to accept the fact that I'm down and I need to do things to escape. Or do things to make sure he does not control his position on. He doesn't get past my legs. It's my responsibility to be like, oh crap, or oh shit, this guy's taking me down. And if he gets past my legs, not only is he going to take me down, he's going to get me inside control. And I don't want him to get me inside control, especially if the person's bigger than me, because they might be able to get more weight down on me or do certain things. So it's very important that you focus on when's the proper time to escape during transition. I'm going to make even more videos. There are videos on the Grapplers Guide where I talk about a lot of these different things, but I'm going to make even more for those who are on the Grapplers Guide in regards to escaping in transition and talking about certain situations. Because this is one of the hardest things for people to truly understand, is when is the proper time to escape during transition. And the main purpose of this video, even giving you all these particular concepts and ideas, the main purpose of this video is to open up your eyes to the fact that you need to focus on escaping during transition. Because if you do not focus on escaping during transition, now we have to worry about escaping against anybody, right? And the reason why I say anybody, it doesn't matter how big the individual is. It doesn't matter if they're my size, smaller than me. Escaping during transition is important no matter what. So definitely focus on this. If you need more examples and you're on the Grapplers Guide, talk to me and then I could possibly point you in the proper direction. If we do not have certain examples for you yet, then I'm going to write it down. I always write down things on my to film list. We make it happen, we film it, and then we go from there. So hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions, comments, post below. Do not forget to focus on escaping during transition. It is one of the most important things. Other videos I talk about actual examples of escaping during transition, and we're going to go over some of those in some videos too. So if you have any questions, comments, post below. Peace.